Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron. I hope you're having a great day or night in Jesus. And we're looking today at Ape-Men. What were Ape-Men? Or they mention in the Bible they are in the book of Job, by the way. Supposed Ape-Men, more like cavemen, more than Ape-Men. And let's just see what the evidence is. This is our discussion starter book is In the Beginning by Dr. Waldron, MIT PhD. Let's look at this. And so he says, stories claiming that fossils or primitive ape-like men have been found are overstated. It's now universally acknowledged that Piltdown Man was a hoax. I think Pierre Desjardins had a hoax in that. And yet it's in textbooks for more than 40 years. Before 1978, evidence for Ramapithecus was a mere handful of teeth and jaw fragments. We now know these fragments were pieced together incorrectly by Louis Leakey and others in a form resembling part of the human jaw. Ramapithecus was just an ape. The only evidence for Nebraska Man turned out to be a pig's tooth. And I think Hank Hanegraaff in his Ape-Men fallacies, the face that exposes evolution, he has a great section in there on that. 40 years after he discovered Java Man, Eugene Du Bois conceded that it was similar to a large gibbon. To support that conclusion, Du Bois also admitted he had withheld parts of 4 other thigh bones of apes found in the same area. So you're seeing Piltdown Man, others that, these are hoaxes. Many experts consider the skulls of Peking Man to be the remains of apes that were systematically decapitated and exploited for food by true man, like they eat living brains of monkeys. The classification Homo erectus is considered by most experts to be a category that should never have been created. Now he's got an illustration of various jaw lines and teeth, like Ramapithecus, man, and then Ramapithecus from 1977 to the present, and then an ape chimpanzee. It's very obvious that it's an ape or chimpanzee or something like that and not related to man. The first confirmed limb bones of Homo habilis have recently been discovered. They show this animal clearly had ape-like proportions and never been classified as man-like or Homo. The Australopithecines, which were made famous by Louis and Mary Leakey, are quite distinct from humans. Several detailed computer studies of Australopithecines have shown that their bodily proportions were not intermediate between man and living apes. Another study of their inner ear bones, used to maintain balance, showed a striking similarity with those of chimpanzees and gorillas, but great differences with those of humans. One Australopithecine fossil, a 3.5-foot tall, long-armed, 60-pound adult called Lucy, was initially presented as evidence that all Australopithecines walked upright in a human manner. However, studies of Lucy's entire anatomy, not just a knee joint, now show that's very unlikely. She probably swung from trees and was similar to pygmy chimpanzees. The Australopithecines are probably extinct ape. I did want to say he's got references for all of these. These are footnoted. For about 100 years, the world was led to believe Neanderthal man was stooped and ape-like from Neander, Germany. Now you read articles, it seems to me like on a near weekly basis, about how advanced they were in religion and tools and all this. This erroneous belief was based upon some Neanderthals with bone diseases such as arthritis and rickets. Recent dental and X-ray studies of Neanderthals suggest they were humans who matured at a slower rate and lived much older than people today. Neanderthal man, Heidelberg man, and Cro-Magnon man are now considered completely human. Artist depictions of them, especially of their fleshy portions, are often quite imaginative, are not supported by the evidence. And there was recently a great video put out by Answers in Genesis, I think it was, that dinosaurs, the fleshy parts of that, also the imagination of the artist sometimes. Furthermore, the techniques used to date these fossils are highly questionable. It's got an artist drawing of Nebraska Man even those based on speculation, powerfully influenced the public, no doubt. Nebraska Man was mistakenly based on one tooth of an extinct pig. And yet in 1922, the Illustrated London News published this picture of, a couple of really human-looking people, but with some ape-like characteristics, showing our supposed ancestors. Of course, no fossil evidence could support the image conveyed here of a naked man carrying a club. Also, fossil man, bones of many modern-looking humans have been found deep in undisturbed rocks that, according to evolution, were formed long before man began to evolve. Examples included the Calaveras skull, the Castanoldo skeletons, Rex, R-E-C-K-S skeleton, and many others. And they're like Guatemala woman or Guadalupe woman, I think it is. Other remains, such as the Swanscombe skull, the Stenum fossil, and the Verticillose fossil, present similar fossil problems. Evolutionists almost always ignore these remains. Also, oops artifacts, finding intact, highly crafted bells and coal beds and stuff like that just shouldn't be. So, yeah, just read Genesis 1. That's where we came from. For all the evidence points anyhow. God bless you. We love you. Bye-bye.